hear what she said, so if I say the same thing that she said, just go, she already said that. Just saying. Oh, hi.
Hey.
We'll have the two versions. Susan was at the first event, this tour. Oh, let's see, what are we going to talk about?
Books.
Okay, yeah, I wrote this book about the color blue, but I don't want to talk about that yet. The reason I don't have this very well prepared, and those of you who have seen me speak know, the reason is because I figure the reason you resonate with my books is you figure, well, if you had the time, you could do that. So basically, that's how I go about my speaking thing. And then I was talking about my shirts for a while, and I'm tired of that. So anyway, so I was in Washington last week, and I was on NPR. I'm going to talk about the book in a minute. I was on NPR on the Kojo Nambi show, which is spelled N-N-A-M-B-I. I say that because that's the first word with a silent N in it that I knew that the N was at the beginning, so it's like the ninja N. And so anyway, I was on there, and I went, and we got there at the last minute, my rental friend, and we got there and we just walked right into the studio. The lady took us into the studio, and there was an entourage of people coming out of the studio, and the lady who was taking us in said, "That's Bob Marley's granddaughter." And it was this beautiful child, like, I don't know, 19, 20, with like dreads down to the middle of her thighs and so forth. And I was like, wow, this is like Rastafarian royalty here. It was just, I was kind of overwhelmed, because when she was, this was a lioness of Zion. When she was born, it was like, German! Thank you for laughing at that. I know whenever I do any kind of gesture, it's just, I know I look like I rented my limbs from Home Depot for the day, so I appreciate that. So anyway, there was, Carly Marley was there, presumably. Maybe Farley Marley. I don't. No, it's Charlotte, but for short they call her Chuck. No, no, her name is Donia. I just thought it would be cool if there was like at the time, if there was a Disney Rastafarian princess, with like bluebirds doing her dress. Why are your head so nappy? Like little dancing song and dread bag, and squirrels twisting up fatties, taking the shit home, my brother. So that was awesome. So I quit talking about my shirts, and then what happened? Okay, then before I said this, I'm trying to say this in every event because I don't know where I got this note from, but right before I left on tour, I got a note from someone that said, "News of your book tour has really improved a day filled with a kitchen fire, a burn-up stove, and a colonoscopy." And I just wanted to say, I don't know if you're here, you don't have to, fess up or nothing, but if your colonoscopy caused a kitchen fire, you need to change doctors. As your professional writer friend, I wanted to tell you that. So, anyway, that happened. Hi, come on in. We have seats, maybe. We have squats. That's disgusting. So anyway, I wrote this book. Yeah, I remember what I was going to say. I've just done 4 years of research about these artists who went to extraordinary means to be able to do the art they wanted to do, and it made me appreciate the fact that I am able to do what I want to do and have this cool job, and I wouldn't be able to do that if not for you guys. So before I go on, I wanted to thank you all for letting me do this cool job. So there you go.
You're welcome.
So don't download the books from a torrent site. Just wanted to say that. God, I'm back in the Bay Area. I forget. I never know what I can talk about really, because you know, you go. I had to go to Dallas, you know, and I was going. It was the Museum of Fine Art in Dallas, so that's good. But I was going there on the George Bush Freeway, and I was like, okay, I feel conflicted, and I didn't know what I was going to say because I had been talking about, you know, the fact that I was really happy that there was a president that was smarter than me. Because I'd had it the other way and I didn't care for it. But I didn't know if I could say that in Dallas. But I was getting ready to fly out of San Francisco. Do you guys know this? I think, what was I flying? It was the United Terminal. At the end of the United Terminal, we have a portable tornado in the airport. Have you seen this? No. Yeah, it's a real thing. Yeah, back me up. You saw it, right? And I was like, okay, portable tornado. Why here? And I thought, well, first, homesick Texans. You know? And I was like, oh, we're fine, you know. But there were tiny little trailers swirling in it, so no. But then it occurred to me, no, it's like the Statue of Liberty for Friends of Dorothy who are coming to my tribe, you know. So that was actually, it was a cool thing. It was like, you know, give us your fabulous, your, anyway, I'm glad it's there. Although I'm a little afraid of it. So that happened. I already talked about that. Wow, I thought I had more material. I'm going to have to talk about this stupid book, I guess. So I wrote this book about the color blue. And when you decide you're going to write a book about the color blue, you think, I don't remember when that actually occurred to me, you know, as I'm going to do that. But when they start interviewing you, they ask you, well, how did that come to you? And you have to make up something. And you can't say, well, it's just something I was thinking up. I mean, I remember going to a friend's house for dinner and saying, I'm going to write a book about the color blue, and it sounded audacious and, wow, edgy and you know, stupid. But I don't remember the process, because I just think stuff up sometimes, you know, like, meerkats live in communities. I wonder where they get their pizza from. And then I start doing, you know, meerkat pizza delivery, and it just goes off of. But if you tell reporters that, they're like, you get high a lot. And so, and I'm, you know, I have, like, you have no way of proving that. So I guess. Now the dispensaries are being shut down and they're doing the delivery model of pot, medical pot. Most of the people I know that have, and I know there are real people that need it, but most of the people I know that have a card is for anxiety. You know, which really kind of means I'm not high enough. Which is totally legitimate. But anyway, now they're doing the delivery thing, so the feds can't step in and shut down the dispensary. And right before I left on tour, there was a pot delivery guy down in Los Angeles County that got robbed. And it used to be like, if you're a pot dealer, you know, let's face it, pot dealers have always delivered. Children ask your parents. But if your dealer just showed up like an ounce short, you could just like break his legs or something. But now that it's legal, there has to be a process for grievance and stuff. So I guess the cops asked, this was in the LA Times, you can Google it. The cops asked him, you know, what did your assailants look like? And he said, well, I didn't see them. And they were like, why? And he said, because they were ninjas. It was in the LA Times. He was very specific. He was like, robbed by 6 ninjas. You know? I suppose it's like, who robbed you? Ninjas? But you want to make it sound like you put up a fight, so there was 6 of them. So anyway, I thought this shit was funny.